सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम बोलो स्वामी सद्गुरु शिवानंद महाराज की जय। ओम बोलो स्वामी विष्णुदेवानंद महाराज की जय। हरि ओम तत्सत। I offer my pranams to the lotus feet of Masters. I pray Masters give us all the understanding. It's Swami who speaks. It's Swami who listens through all of us. Hari Om Tat Sat. So we are in Karma Yoga, chapter 3. We have stopped with sloka number 25 yesterday. And we'll see the meaning once again in sloka number 25. Avidvamshaha, the ignorant people. Vidvamsa means the person who are wise. Avidvamsaha means ignorant people. Karmani saktaha, they do their duties with attachment to the results. Wise person also do their duties based on their responsibilities or based on their personalities, and they do it without attachment. Why wise person also do the duties? Partha, wise men also act, and they act without attachment for chikirshu, for wishing the loka sangraham, for the welfare of the world, for the it is not with a selfish motive. They work, the wise men also act for loka sangraham, chikirshu loka sangraham, for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of the world. So it is nothing wrong to have desire. If the desire is not with a selfish motive, it is for loka sangraham, it is for the world, then it is okay. Hence the wise man also act without asaktaha, without attachment, wishing for the chikirsu, wishing for the loka sangraham, for the welfare of the world. Slokam number 26. Na buddhi bhedam janayeda ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samacharan. Ignorant person work with attachment. If someone is doing work with attachment, do not stop them. As a wise person, you know working with attachment is not guiding him to the spiritual path. However, buddhi bedam, discord in intellects. Krishna advises not to create the discord in their intellect of the ignorant people. Do not stop them doing their work, because only through the work they will be guided to the supreme path. If you stop him to do the work, if you ask him to drop the work, then there will be major chaos. So do not stop their work. Don't unsettle the mind of the ignorance. Slowly, steadily guide them, encourage every individual to not to attach to the result and work with the work without attachment. However, do not stop them. If an individual is in the grihastha and he is doing all the work, do not stop them and unsettle their mind. Encourage them to do their work. Let them keep on doing the work. Slowly, steadily engage him or her to and guide them in the right path. Master gives one good example here. Suppose you are driving a car in the busy road. When you are driving the car and there is a wise person who is sitting next to you and who is guiding you with the road map, guiding you to go straight or take right or take left, and guiding you to reach the destination. While doing so, suppose if as a driver you miss the exit, you miss to take the exit on the left, that doesn't mean the person who is sitting next to you immediately startle you saying, oh, you have stop, we have already lost the exit. No, that will create a major chaos. Suppose there are vehicles coming behind, it is not to be stopped at once. Like what the wise person should do, he should allow him to continue to drive, slowly tell them that we have missed an exit. So as a driver, being responsible, taking care of the driving rules, you need to shift the lane at the appropriate time and get into the next exit and go into your right direction. Similarly, a person who is doing all the work, you should not startle him saying that you are attaching to the result, you should stop the work. If you do that, there will be a major chaos. So encourage him to carry out the duties as a grahastha properly and slowly educate them into spiritual path. As a wise man, so you need to guide the ignorant people. And how does this happen? How an action happen? What is the meaning of the ignorant? What is the meaning of wise? All this Bhagavan Krishna explains in the next chapter. In this chapter, as a wise man, as a vidwan, you remains integrated, yuktaha as an enlightened person, samacharan by performing the duties properly, choshayet, inspire them to get into this spiritual path. Do not stop them and startle them. So in slokam number 27, Krishna is emphasizing how an action happened from 27 onwards, how an action happened and what is the meaning of the ignorant person and what is the meaning of the wise person. Slokam number 27. Prakrite kriya karmani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. Karmani kriyamanaha prakritaha kriyamanaha gunaha kamana sarvashaha. See, all this karma, sarvashaha, all sarvashaha means entire or worldly karmas. All these karmas, it could be a specific activity or it could be a spiritual activity, religious activity, or all the worldly karmas which are performed by this body and mind. All these activities are performed based on the gunas of this prakriti. Prakriti kriyamanana gunaha. So all these are based on the gunas of this prakriti. There are two important words that is getting introduced here, prakriti and gunaha. Ahankara vimudatma. Due to that ahankara, due to this inner instruments, the lack of that inner instrument, ahankara, due to this ahankara, identifying with that activity, karta aham iti manyate. The doer, he thinks that individual thinks that he is a doer. The ignorant thinks due to antakarana, due to attaching to that work, karma karta aham iti manyate. Karta means the doer. The work he thinks, manyate, he thinks he is the doer. So the two important terms, prakriti and gunaha. We'll get little detail in this because this is an important words and this would be used in the upcoming verses also. Upadhi means limiting agents. This body. Prakriti is matter. Matter is called prakriti, maya. We also can call it as maya. And the consciousness enlivening in this matter, and that is called Purusha. Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha here means, that doesn't mean it refers only to men, it refers to the individual. It refers to man and women. So, Prakriti is matter, Prakriti is Maya, and the consciousness enlivening this matter is called Purusha. Two terms here, Prakriti and Purusha. The Atma, the Brahma, is called Purusha. The Atma is called Purusha. Now this Prakriti is got all the three gunas. What are the three gunas? Sattva, Sattva Gunam, Rajo Gunam, Tamas Gunam. So there are three gunas. This Prakriti is has all the three gunas, is inert and it cannot function. Maya cannot function sometimes. It is inert, and that time it is tamas. And sometimes we see the quality in the Prakriti, there is movement, and that is Rajogunam. Sattvagunam, the world is made up of intelligence. The world is not a mad or a crazy world. The world is an intelligent world. Everything is happening in an order. Though we may see some gadbad, some chaos is happening, it is all happening in a structured way. So it is happening with some intelligence, and that time we see the Sattva Guna. So these three qualities together exist in Prakriti. From this Prakriti, the whole world is expressed to us. In a deep sleep state, we can see this Prakriti is in equilibrium in all these three gunas. In the waking state, we can see that the gunas are in an inequilibrium or unequilibrium way. The word Prakriti has got 24 components, which is called Tattva Bodha. And if anybody is interested in getting details into this topic, there is a separate book, Tattva Bodha. You can read that book and get more knowledge on this. We will see what are these Tattva 24 parts. 5 great elements. Pancha Bhuta. Akash, the sky. Vayu, air. Agni, fire. Jala, Jalam, water. Prithvi, ether. And in this 5, this Akasham is the subtlest. And Vayu is subtle. Agni is little gross. Jalam is gross. And Prithvi is the solid matter. And these are the characteristics, 5 characteristics. Now, all this Akasham has got a sabdam, sound. This Vayu has got the sparsam, touch. Fire, Agni, has got the rupam. It has got the sight or form or color. Jalam, which has got the rasa. Rasa means taste. Prithvi has got the gandham, smell. So these are the natural characteristics of these elements, the object of the senses. They are sense objects. So these 5 are experienced by the 5 organs, Vishayaha, these objects of the senses. So 5 plus 5, 10. Then comes 5 organs of perception. These organs of perception are also formed by these 5 elements only. So what are the 5 perception? Ability to hear the sound, ability to see, ability to touch, ability to taste, ability to smell. So expression of 5 elements, expression of the elements and expression of our organs. So 5 plus 5 plus 5, 15. And the 5 organs of action, karma, indriyas. What are the 5 organs of action? Speech, the ability to speak. Hands, the ability to hold. Legs, ability to move, ability to walk. Generative organ, which is sexual organ, the organ of generation. And the 5th one is organ of excretion. So these are 5 karma indriyas. So totally now 20. And these are also formed by these 5 elements only. So that is why we say prapancham. Prakarshena pancham. Prapancham. These are bahikarana. These are all external. And 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Now last 4 is, these are all bahikarana. These are all external. And the last 4 is Antakaranam. It is inner instruments. It is internal, which guides. What are the 4? Mana, mind. Buddhi, the intellect. Chitta, the memory. And Ahankara, the ego. So totally 24. These 24 are components, 24 components of this Prakriti. They are the products of Prakriti. Those who enlivening these 24 is called Purusha. Purusha is that Atma. Prakriti is that matter. Prakriti is the Maya. In all the 24, these three gunas are playing its role. 5 elements and 5 objects are Karya. And 5 organs of perception and 5 organs of action and these 4 inner instruments, these are all Karana. So this Karya and Karana, they play with each other, and that is why an action happens. All actions are performed only by these 24, these Tattva, 24 components of this world, 24 products of this Prakriti. Atma, when it gets identified with these products, it gets deluded and it thinks that I am the doer. Prakritehe kriyamanani. When they get identified with these tattva bodhas, they think that I am the doer. When the Atma, when they get identified with these 24 components, they think that I am the doer. Theoretically, now we understand everything. But this is not enough. Through constant meditation, we will realize this. This is now only the knowledge part. Through constant meditation, only a person becomes wise and he detaches himself from these 24 products of this Prakriti. For example, Master gives one example here. There is a electric bulb. This electric bulb is functioning based on some inner components. Now, when the electric bulb, when we switch on the light, it gives a light for us. It gives power, it gives light for us. This electricity just gives the power to that bulb. Without that electricity, the bulb cannot function. Beyond doubt, that cannot function. This electricity, when we switch on the light, that electricity gives the power to that bulb. Now, this electricity cannot think, I am the bulb. Without that bulb, this electricity cannot function. Similarly, Atma, like electricity, gives mere power to these Prakriti. Give mere power to this Maya. With the presence of Purusha, with the presence of that enlivening, this Prakriti functions. Otherwise, the Prakriti cannot function on its own. Though we now have this as knowledge, we have to, through constant discrimination, that I am not this body and I am not this mind. Through that constant discrimination only we can realize this. I am Purusha and all these are Maya, all these are Prakriti. They are playing in front of me. We understand it as theory now, but this Atma, when it gets identified with this Prakriti, when it gets identified with this Tattva, then it considers it as a doer and it superimposes on this and it thinks that I am the doer. The nature, everything that is being created in the previous loka also we have seen this. Nature perform an action only by its own law. Everything has its own law. There is a law of universe. Every component has its own law. Human being also come to this nature by law. There is a law for everyone. And based on that law, everything performs. And by constant meditation, we need to feel that Prakriti, that components are doing its action based on the law, based on the nature, based on its own functional law of function. Now, ahankara vimudatma. Karta ahamiti manyate. Getting deluded by thinking, by identifying with this Prakriti, with this Maya, that individual thinks that I am the doer. Ahankara vimudatma. He thinks that I am the doer. Only ignorant person does this. When he get into an action, he get he gives that importance to that sense of enjoyership, and that sense of enjoyership gets that bandha, that gets connected to that creates the bond, and that with that bondage, that attachment, that attachment gives him the ignorance. So that cannot be released by dropping the actions. So as a wise man, do not drop him to do all the actions. He need to perform all the actions, because only those actions will guide him in the right path. Let him keep on performing the action slowly and steadily as a wise man, and you do the duty properly according to your responsibility. You be a moral responsible person, and slowly steadily encourage that person to get his mind pure through constant meditation. Through the constant practice of meditation, one can understand that this Prakriti is different. Slokam number 28. Tattvavittu mahabhaho gunakarma vibhagayoh guna guneshu vartanta iti mat guna guneshu vartante iti matvana sanjate. Tattvavittu means the one who is knower of this tattva, these 24 components. He is a wise person. Guna karma vibhagayoho. Guna vibhaga, karma vibhaga. 24 tattvas are called guna vibhaga, and their functions are called karma vibhaga. These 5 elements, 5 objects of perception, 5 functioning of sense organs, organs of action, and antakaranam. So the guna karma vibhaga is this 24 components, this tattvas, and their functions are called karma vibhaga. See, here there are something that is happening naturally: breathing, thinking, creating, memory, collecting of storage of thoughts, analyzing, decision making, the ego, identifying with this. These are all happening. These are all part of Prakriti. These are all happening just like that. And everything in this world, as we see, it is all happening according to the nature of law. Guna guneshu vartante. These actions, these gunas, these actions are happening. These 3 gunas function in their respective field according to the nature. These organs, they functions in their respective field. For example, this eyes, what is the function of this eye? It is to see. The ears, what is the function of its the ears? It is to take the sound. It is to recognize the sound. It is to hear. The nose, the function is to smell. The mind, the function of the mind is the emotions. So when you see something, there is a stimulant, there is a reaction that is happening within you, and that is called mind. For example, there is a tiger that is coming in front, and what is happening? Immediately a fear that is coming in. Why that is coming in? Because you have already stored in your mind that the knowledge about the tiger, what are all this tiger will do. So that fear comes in mind. This intellect, the intellect, that is the one which provides the information, and it is the one which is making you to analyze. So this mind and intellect there are 2 different functions, and that is also the function of the Prakriti. So it is required for our life, day-to-day activities. We need this mind, we need this intellect, because intellect is also part of the nature. It is the specific function of the nature. While these are happening, what we should do? With constant meditation, we should realize, we should use our discriminatory power and realize that this Atma is different from all these that is happening in this Prakriti. A wise person who knows guna guneshu vartante. These gunas function in the same gunas. One part of the nature is functioning with the other part of the nature. One guna is functioning with the other guna. So, wise person knows that guna guneshu vartante. Iti matva, having understood this deeply, na sarjate, becomes detached. Stay detached with the action that is happening. This Atma is not the doer, the Prakriti, the Maya is the doer. As long as we are in ignorance, as a wise person, as long as the person who is doing these actions on ignorance, please do not stop him from doing this. Keep on encouraging him to do the work and slowly guide him. Slokam number 29. Prakritergunasammudaha sajjante gunakarmasu tana kritsna vidho mantan kritsna vinna vichalayet. Therefore, ignorant person is one who is totally confused regarding this Prakriti, regarding this 24 components, regarding this tattvas. They get attached with that gunas. They feel, they superimpose with that action, they feel that they are the doer. They do not know how to stand as a witness to this Prakriti, stand as a Sakshi Bhav to all these. A wise man knows to remain as a Sakshi, as a witness to the Prakriti, to this Maya. Sometimes you watch the sky, and then we watch the sky, we see the clouds, and we see the moon, and we suddenly feel that the moon is moving. Similarly, seeing in this Prakriti, we think we are moving. We are only the seer. We are only the witness. Prakritehe gunasammudaha sanchante gunakarmasu. Those who are deluded by the Prakriti and Guna, they get attached to the functions of these organs and the sensory objects. And finally, after having got attached to this, they feel that I am the doer. That self itself, they assume that the role of Ahankar. Then immediately they assume the role of a Ahankar. One who is not recognizing that, then that he or she thinks that this is Prakriti, these are, I am a witness to it and I am not attaching. Through constant practice, the one who knows to control this, or one who realizes, they are wise person. And as just because somebody have got big money on the earth, or a big shot, or a bigger doctor, or big position in the big position, that doesn't mean that they are not ignorant. If a person is not attaching to the work, then he is a wise person. The person who is attached to the result, he is still called spiritually ignorant. We'll get little detail on this sloka tomorrow. With this, we'll end today's session. Keeping your back straight, eyes closed. We'll chant Om 3 times together. Om, Om, Om. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Salutations to our masters. Om Bolo Swami Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thanks for joining. See you tomorrow, same time, 4 o'clock.